Okay, hey everybody, Smackdownian here along with Mavergong. Today we're going to be showing you the Halls of Valor on normal mode. Mavergong is in tank form on her Demon Hunter, and I am a Frost Mage. Now, we're not going to make a table in here. This is simply an instructional video to help you to get through this dungeon. We'll try to speed through it as quickly as possible and we get to the bosses so you can see what's going on. So first off, just deal with the trash right up front here. There's nothing that difficult. You've got some Valor champions that you're going to deal with, some spellcasters, some storm drakes. It's nothing big. This is all just trash. So if you're in a party of 5, of course you can motor right through this trash. You want to get rid of the spellcasters as quickly as you can. You ranged players will be able to pick off the spellcaster from over here, and you melee players are going to need to be in on the spellcaster. If you cast Thunderous Bolt, which is a Thunder Caller, you can interrupt him if you so choose. But nothing major. A couple of Valor champions, and they go down quickly. The next row of mobs up here, more trash. You got a Storm Drake directly in the center. We take down the Storm Drake first. Everything else aggroes around the Storm Drake. So when you pull one, you pull them all. And this leads up to the first boss, Heimdall. So here they go, and we will hit our Ebon Bolt, and we'll go ahead and start getting rid of this Storm Drake. Storm Drake throws down Crackle. He also tosses one of these little mini tornadoes. Again, it's the basic rule that you've known since vanilla, you know, don't stand in crap, you know. Don't stand in crap and you won't die. Now, you can interrupt these mages if you got somebody that can do interrupts. Here comes the first boss. The first boss is Heimdall. You do not have to kill this boss completely. When he gets down to, I don't know, around 5-10%, something like that, he turns friendly, and you're in good shape. He basically has 3 moves that he does. The first one he does is called Dancing Blade, where he's going to throw his sword out. All you got to do is move left or right. Just move from the area you're in, and you'll avoid it, no problem. The second thing he does right here is Horn of Valor. Horn of Valor, he calls his Storm Drakes out, and they put down a static field that does quite a bit of nature damage to you. So you're going to want to avoid standing in that. But I mean, he blows Horn of Valor. You can look around and you can see that one there was only one. The next time he does it, he's going to do it 3 times. So you're going to see 3 Storm Drakes. They may start in the front, the back, the middle, who knows. The third move he does is called Bloodletting Sweep. This does quite a bit of damage. Here comes Dancing Blade. It does quite a bit of damage, so you're going to want to not stand directly in front of it. Here comes Horn of Valor again. As you see, the middle's going to be first. The other ones haven't lined up yet, but he's going to come down the middle. Here comes the one in the front. Is coming second. So if there's a third one, he's going to come down the back lane. So we did 2 that time. It's no big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and help out. Here comes Dancing Blade. As you see, he threw it behind me because I just moved. As long as you move, it's not going to hit you. It's going to do no harm to you. And Heimdall's just about done anyhow here. There's his big move. There's Dancing Blade. He threw it at me again. I didn't quite make it out of the way, so I did take a little damage. He does Horn of Valor, but he's going to be done before they come in this time. So he turns friendly to you, and you can loot the chest. And there's Heimdall, your first boss, and he's done. Remember, this is the Halls of Valor. This is all about trials to prove your worth to Odin. Right here we start with a Stormforged Sentinel. And ordinarily don't really take all 4 of these rather at the same time. But we are pretty powerful, so your Sentinels are going to do what's called a charge pulse. And they're going to hit anybody melee who's standing in front of them. They're going to knock them backwards. It doesn't do a ton of damage. It's more of an annoyance. If you got a healer, you can easily heal through this, through these dungeons, no problem. Now your spellcasters, they're just going to cast random things, Shattered Runes, stuff like that, but you will occasionally get one that casts down a healing rune or some type of a healing spell. So, you know, if you can interrupt that, it'll save a little heartache. Now, Mavragong is a demon hunter, and what she does is, she doesn't need to do this because we're so powerful, but she throws a ruin out that's going to stun them. Of course, she threw the wrong ruin here, but we always forget it's the purple one she wants to throw. So, I'm going to help her out here and take care of this mage back here while she's tanking the rest of those idiots. So I get rid of the spellcaster. Alright, and that's done there. So now I can come in here, I'll go ahead and drop Blizzard on the group to help her out. Silence that spellcaster right there. Get rid of the Thundercaller, and then you get rid of the champions and you're good. So normally what she tries to do, if she comes back here, is your Demon Hunter will stand back here, and right where she's standing now is where the first two guys are, and there's the Demon Hunters have a ruin they can toss out that will stun their targets. So you can actually stun a couple of these champions, and as long as you don't strike them, they'll stay stunned for whatever it is, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. So at least you don't have to deal with them while you're dealing with the spellcasters in the back, and then you can come back and take care of those champions. Alright, moving on up here, we're getting ready to move into the main hall here. Well, this is the dining hall, really. The first one here is a sentinel, just like the other one. He's going to do crackle on the ground. His two things he does is crackle right here. And that's going to be basically sent back toward the range players. And he's doing charge pulse. So anybody standing in front of him that gets hit by charge pulse, as you see, gets knocked backwards. And he's done. Now in this dungeon, we just go through it quickly. So we go right up the gut here. And we like to go after the marksman first, because the marksman will do significant damage to the tank, and she will also shoot down the range players in the back. Once the marksman is gone, then we start dealing again with the spellcasters, which is nothing new. Really, the main rule in this dungeon is just don't stand in shit. You know, you've known it since the beginning. It's just don't stand in shit. Alright, and they're dead. Alright, now this is the main door that takes you up to the ramp where Odin is, and it's guarded by two sentinels. Now you can't get in there yet because it doesn't unlock until after you take care of the two other bosses that are here, and we're going to deal with them in just a minute. But as long as we're here, we always just take these guys out, because we tend to aggro them anyway. So we just go ahead and take them out while we're here, and then when we're done with Fenrir, we can just come right in here and run right up the ramp and go into the last place. Now, Mavragong is standing in the corner here on purpose, because as you do, she can heal herself being in tank mode and a demon hunter. She's, you know, a hero, obviously. So, charge pulse knocks you backwards, but if you're standing in the corner here and you get hit with charge pulse, you know, you have nowhere to go. So you're not going to accidentally aggro and you know, get knocked back into some other guys, because you know, the times that we did get in trouble in this dungeon back in the day is mainly because we overpulled. So again, you're just going to deal with a bunch of spellcasters. Those are mystics. These are thundercallers, and I think you do have one champion in turn. They will cast down. The Mystic would, but not the Thundercaller, would have cast down a healing ruin. And again, you certainly do enough DPS that you could move past that. It's just a hassle to have to, you know, kill more. Alright, up here you got two shield maidens. Open it up as you move into the final area of the second boss. We're basically going to be going up these steps and getting to the second boss up here. But these guys are basically just tank and spank. They don't do anything special. So just, you know, burn them down. You range players, you've got another spellcaster up here. This is a purifier. You range players can sit back in the back and you can totally destroy this the spellcaster from downstairs. And before I even go upstairs, she says, so come upstairs, and then again, she's surrounded by 2 shield maidens, and we'll take care of them. And they're all done. Alright, so Mavragon finishes those up. You have an aspirant over here, surrounded by 2 shield maidens as well. Again, this is nothing major. The aspirant's going to jump back on the range players. Blast of Light she does, and it didn't get to go off. It just does a moderate amount of damage. Anybody that comes back toward, as you see, the shield maiden has come back toward the spellcaster, or come back toward your range players. The tank should come out and pick her up. Okay? Alright, that's a piece of cake. Now here you have 2 sub-bosses, and they all work in with this boss up here. Okay, your first boss on the right, this is Ulmer. Ulmer does 2 moves. One is called Searing Light, which really does a very small amount of damage. It can be interrupted. The second move is called Sanctify, where she sends out, or he sends out, orbs. And, you know, they don't interrupt your spell casting, but, you know, they do interrupt in a sense that if you're going to avoid them, you got to move left or right to avoid them. But Searing Light can be interrupted, so I interrupt Searing Light, and then just burn this boss down. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. And here comes Sanctify again, but he's going to die before he gets it off. The second sub-boss right over here is called Solstin. Solstin's main move that he casts is called Eye of the Storm. And basically, right at the Eye of the Storm, he's going to create a bubble. And while he's casting Eye of the Storm, just like this, all you have to do is get inside of the bubble. You'll take no damage from the outside. The damage you take from the inside is tiny at all. Your shields and whatnot should easily heal you through it. It's nothing major here. Now, that's important when you get to this next boss, and I'll tell you why in just a second. When this next boss comes down, this boss has the ability to take on either move from either one of these 2 sub-bosses. So what we've decided to do is when the boss jumps down, we pull the boss over here by Solstin. So the only move that he'll do, because he's out of range of the other one, is Eye of the Storm. So it's an easy one to see. You're not going to get hit by orbs. When he does Eye of the Storm, all you got to do is get inside the bubble, and you don't take any damage. Now, for anybody standing in melee range when he does Shield, or when she does Shield of Light, you're going to get knocked backwards, and you'll take a decent amount of damage, but you can't kill it. All the while she is doing Eye of the Storm, you can be inside of the eye itself, which is that big bubble, and you take a very moderate amount of damage. Nothing that you can't kill through. But this is why we choose to pull her on this side, because we believe it's a lot easier to deal with Eye of the Storm, because you can jump right in. It's easy to see it coming. It's a long cast, so you can get inside of the eye, no problem. And a couple more seconds, and Herja's going to be dead. And Herja is dead, and that is the second boss that goes down. So remember, you got 2 sub-bosses in here. You got Ulmer and Solstin, and then Herja comes down. And if you pull Herja to this side, then you'll be able to control which one of those moves that she inherits. We chose Eye of the Storm. We just happen to think it's easier to see and get inside the bubble. Now, when you come back down, you got to go right back through this dining area again. You've already cleared the left side, so as long as you're not too reckless running in here, you just come around the corner and you can avoid it pretty easily. Now, if you want to go ahead and kill everybody in here, knock yourself out. For this video, we're basically just pounding through here to give you a heads up of just a quick way to make it through here. Alright, well, there's one dead. We got a spellcaster here, and I'm going to go ahead and take care of it. If there was, we're just doing this ourselves, just the 2 of us. But if you're in a party of 5, you've got plenty of range that's going to be just destroying this stuff. And I don't think it's anything at all that you need to worry about. Move right up along the left-hand side. Again, you've got another champion and you've got a marksman. The marksman does do a pretty fair amount of damage. So if you can just basically DPS down the marksman as quickly as possible, she's dead and there's nothing to worry about. Now, a point of interest, as this champion dies, this is how you get into this feral area right here. Okay, just be very careful coming around the corner so that you don't aggro the other side. Because you'll see if you aggro, when you come to this little portal here, you will not be able to teleport through it. So you're going to have to fight whatever's back there in order to get through that portal. This here is a feral area. This is where the... let's see, this would be the 3rd boss plus 2 sub-bosses. And this is a big wolf. And his name is Fenrir. And if you look down on the ground, you'll see his footprints. And if you follow his footprints, it shows you on which side that he's on. And since his footprints go off to the right, he is going to be off to the right. And I can see him over there. As you see, I'm going to click on him right here. So you can see him there. So he's got a small amount of just... trash that you do. You got these anger hoof bulls. They don't do anything much that's going to hurt you. They do knock you back a little bit. It's kind of a stun that they do. But there's not really much that they're going to do that's going to cause your party any difficulty. I was hoping he'd be on the left side today, just so I could show you how you can sneak around without having to fight into the wolves up by the boss after he retreats to his end. But when you get him down to a certain percentage, he's going to retreat to his den. But I'll get to that in a second. These bulls went down. They're no big deal. Just loot that stuff up. And here we go. Again, just some more trash. You got another marksman right here. We're going to take him out. And you got a couple of hunters back here. They're trappers, and they put down traps, and if you step in their trap, you're going to get stunned. I forget what it is, 5 seconds or so, whatever. It's not a big deal. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'll step in it right here because it's a quick stun that you go in and you step in his trap. But, it's not going to do damage to you. Okay? Alright, we move up, and here is Fenrir, or Fenrir, however you pronounce his name. I don't know all these Norse names. He is a wolf. He basically does a couple of things here that affect the ranged players back here. But, I just put on Ice Barrier. He's going to do something called Unnerving Howl. This is it right here. And if you're casting while he's doing that, then you'll be, you'll be silenced for, 3 seconds or whatever. Then he does Ravenous Leap, where he's going to jump back to you. But again, if you've got your barrier up, if you're a mage or any, whatever, any kind of shield or something, it does such a minimal amount of damage. But certainly a healer with you could easily heal you for whatever you take. Here's Unnerving Howl again. You just don't want to be in the middle of casting when he does that. So if you're in the middle of a long cast, you may want to just move a little bit and stop the cast. Alright, so we get onto, you can get onto your mount now that he's retreated to his den. Right here at Stop, Mavragong. Right here is an extra boss, actually. This is called Urlock the Beastbreaker. And this is an extra boss because this happens to be a world quest. So as long as we're here, we're going to tear this guy down. He goes down very quickly. So, Mavragong, you can go in and start this tank. He really only does one major thing. He's pretty much a tank and spank. But I'll tell you, Crush Smash is what he does, and underneath you it's going to form these little tornado-looking things, and out of the ground comes the big spike. Now the cast only lasts as long as he's casting it. So when it's over, it's done, and he just goes back to bashing on you again. Now depending upon how long it takes you to kill him will depend upon how many times that he actually casts Crush Smash. And but this is an extra boss. It's a world quest, so here comes Crush Smash again, and as you see, the little swirls get underneath your feet. But He's casting it, so you really don't have a lot of time, but boom, he goes down. Sometimes it's better if you don't have instant casts to just wait till he's done casting that, because you're always going to be in the middle of moving. Now these wargs right here, they're a pain in the butt. They do leap back at the ranged players as you start to hit them, as you see this one. I always advise them not to do it because they're going to be dead by the time they get back to the tank. But as you can see, they don't cause a lot of damage. It's just annoying as they jump back. So you just have to be ready for them to jump back. Now, it wasn't too bad there because there was only 2 of them, but there's 3 here. So we're going to freeze them and keep them there, but they jump back at me too fast and I couldn't. But again, it's not anything that's going to harm you. You know, you keep your shield up and you should be fine. You know, just to show you, I'm wearing a legendary piece on this guy. So I've got 2 things. Every 30 seconds I gain a shield that protects me 25% of my maximum health. And also when I shimmer or blink, I have another bubble shield that comes on, besides my ice barrier that I normally put on. Alright, we're coming up to where Fenrir ran off to when he retreated to his den. So here comes Unnerving Howl. You don't want to cast in the middle of it because of course he's going to cross-lock you or whatever you happen to be casting. You know, if you're a fire mage or whatever, you're going to be fire locked. So he does the same 2 moves he did before. The difference here is he does a move called Scent of Blood. Now, to show you Scent of Blood, it's on me. And while you have Scent of Blood on you, it increases your running speed. Okay? And it's a cast that he's doing. It actually has a timer on it, and you'll see it running out. And you'll see as it starts to get over, you can turn around and start heading back, because once he's done with Scent of Blood, he's going to run back to the tank anyway. So, but he won't get Scent of Blood off again this time, and so he's been defeated. Now, once he's defeated, you do pick up a speed boost to help you get out of here. You can get on your mount if you want. I really don't care. It runs as fast as your mount does anyway, unless you go the wrong way. You can see all the blood droplets. Basically, you can follow the blood, but it's taking him back to his den. And once you do the dungeon once, you know where the den is. Alright, so just bolt your way on out of here. Now, a point of interest when you come up to this portal, don't keep holding your mouse running as you run through this portal. The second you hit the portal, just let go of your mouse. Because if you keep running, you're going to be running on the other side. And remember, we didn't kill those guys on this side over here. So if you go, well, now see, the Demon Hunter went running through and she aggroed those guys because she ran through and she didn't stop. So she aggroed these guys right here. So you don't have to stop here to kill them. They will actually follow you all the way up to the top. But she's going to kill them here, so we'll just stop and kill them. Just be careful when you come back through that portal. The second you hit the portal, just take your hands off your mouse and stop until you portal in the other side. You don't have to be the very first one up there. So if you just start running toward this, you'll see the light bridge appear, and up you go. And this is actually going to take you into the main area where Odin is, the Hall of Valor in here. Odin is here. You're going to fight 4 champions, and you're also going to fight God King Skullbolt in here as well. Now what we do is we start on the left on the champions, because they have the gentleman on the far left here. This scumbag over here has the most health. And it's a straightforward fight. Just somebody needs to go up and talk to him. The tank will do it. Just go up and talk to him. That'll begin the challenge. And as soon as he's out, then you go. Now he does something called Unruly Yell, which can be interrupted, because that will here it is right here. That will frost lock you if you're a frost mage, etc. They'll basically interrupt your spell casting, and it will lock you for 3 seconds. So if you're casting when he's doing that, either somebody needs to interrupt it or you need to stop casting. But you will get frost locked for about 3 seconds. He did not do it. Now, each one of these guys can do Unruly Yell, so you just have to keep an eye on that so that you don't get locked in and spell interrupted. Here it is right here, so we interrupt it, and then we can keep casting. And that, if anybody at all is casting, you're going to get interrupted. Sever is his other move. It does moderate frontal damage for whoever's standing in front of him, but it is not a big amount of damage that you're taking. So those first two champions you fight individually. The second champions, you talk to one of them, but you will fight these two together. So you're going to take on both these champions. In a party of 5, this is a piece of cake. Both of these guys do Unruly Yell as well. There are extra moves that they have. One of them will throw a Wicked Dagger. And right here, they do something called Call Ancestor. Now, if this Ancestor reaches him, then he will heal the champion that you're fighting for a significant amount. It's not too much that you're not going to be able to kill the guy. It's just a hassle that you got to beat him down. So if you see them, if you get the Call Ancestor, you see the Ancestor coming out, maybe you can try to tank him down or get somebody to just, DPS this guy down as quickly as possible, and you'll be fine. So he throws down the Aegis of Agamar now, which pisses off God King Skullbald, and he's going to come running through the door as soon as somebody picks it up. Now, your tank doesn't need to pick up the shield. It's up to you if you want to do it this way. What we figured out is the Demon Hunter, when he's tanking God King Skullbald, when he's doing his main move called Ragnarok, if you tuck right underneath his legs right here, you can avoid the damage you're taking from Ragnarok. Everybody else, the range players, if you stand back here and they put up the shield, all the range players are protected behind the shield, and they can just DPS the crap out of God King Skullbald. One of the main things he does, of course, is called Ragnarok. It's a big move. The second thing he does, which is annoying, is Fellblade Rush. It's a fast cast. In order to avoid it, when he's casting it, just move to the side like that, and he misses you completely. Here comes Ragnarok right here. So I'm just going to put the shield up. Normally we don't use it. I'm putting it up just to show you the use of it here. You'll take no damage behind the shield. You're being blocked. Now, as soon as your shield expires, Skullbold is going to get a hold of the Aegis because it overloads, and he picks it up. And now he does a move actually called the Aegis of Agamar, where he drops down these blotches on the floor. This is the old rule of don't stand in shit. If you stand in this, it's going to start damaging you, as you can see it closing in. So you don't want to stand in it. Okay? Once he's done with his move, he drops the Aegis of Agamar back down. You can go pick it up and go to where all the melee players, all your range players are behind him again. You want all your range players to end up behind the Aegis when he's casting Ragnarok, and they will be protected. Okay, he's putting up Ragnarok again. So if all your range players are behind the shield, they can be casting on Skullbold right now and take him down before he even gets done casting or takes the shield again. And that's how you get through God King Skullbold. It's just a couple of simple moves. This whole dungeon is just mechanics, like every other dungeon. But remember, this is a test, and it's all a test from Odin. And Odin's telling you right now, this is all a test. And basically, he's telling you got one more test left, and that's him. So you're going to fight him. But like Heimdall, you don't have to kill him. You just got to get him down a percentage. I forget. I think you just get him down 25% of his main health or something. I forget. But he'll turn friendly just like he is here. He does a couple of interesting things. Not anything that you can't avoid. Your tank needs to talk to him to start this fight. He's going to spawn swords up out of the ground. They're pretty obvious to avoid because, as you see, it puts that down underneath you and a sword spikes up from the ground. It does a significant amount of damage if you're standing in it. It's also, as you see, I'll stay in it, it's going to knock you sideways. Now, he does Radiant Tempest. All you have to do is get out of this area before it's a long cast. Just move out of this area, and he's done casting. The next thing he's going to do is called Shatter Spears. Okay? And he's going to blow up all these spears, and here it comes. And when he blows up all these spears, they're all going to shoot orbs out. Avoid the orbs and you won't get stunned. He now puts a runic brand on your head, and if you look around the floor, you want to go to the one that matches you. Okay? And as soon as you got it on you, you pick up a huge damage buff, where you really do some massive damage to the boss. And if you've got enough DPS, he pretty much never even gets out of this stage. The fight will be over after this. So there's Radiant Tempest again, and Odin is done. He never got it off the second time. Now, if you've got the quest, at that point you can pick up the Aegis of Agrimar and take it to the cellar of the central teleporter in Dalaran. Come here and gather your loot. And my inventory is full. Awesome. But just come here and gather your loot, and you've completed the Halls of Valor. Okay? Alright, this is Smackdownian and Mavragong. Thanks for watching. We hope that helps you through the dungeon, and have fun.